Hey guys, this is my review for War Thunder. So War Thunder is a free-to-play game on Steam, and basically it's just a massive online battling sort of game. So there's two main types of battles, which is tanks or aeroplanes that you can fight in, and then they have different maps and different types of games that you can play with them. So there's realistic or arcade modes. Realistic basically just means you get one life, and then if you die, you go back to the hangar, as they call it, which is like the main menu. Or otherwise, you'll win, and you get like research and money to spend on upgrades for all your different vehicles and planes. In the standard mode, which is arcade mode, you can use a crew of pilots or tank people to drive your tanks. You can have multiple vehicles and play it multiple times to try and win the game, which I personally prefer the arcade battle because sometimes if the realistic one you wait for like 2 minutes and you get in and you die in like the first 30 seconds, it's kind of not worth it playing it much. But it's still quite fun to give it a go if you haven't played it before. So there's a whole lot of different countries that you can play as. I think there's about 6 or so. Like America, Russia, England, sort of thing. Some of the races don't have tanks, and some of them don't have airplanes, so you kind of have to choose which race you're playing as. And then you can upgrade your vehicles and unlock new vehicles. So in each battle you get research points, which goes towards unlocking new items that you can purchase, and then you also get money. Money is kind of something that you just get an excessive amount of, and you don't really have anything to spend it on unless you're researching really fast, which I personally don't really like, because you got just like way too much money compared to the research points. But there are bonuses and boosts that you can unlock, which will make you able to get more research or more money whenever you play a match, which is good. And you don't have to pay for them; you get them like free for every game that you win. So just try your best, and if you win, you get it. So most of the modes is either, for the airplane, is either just battling in the sky where you just shoot other people, and there might be some ground units like tanks or AA units that you have to blow up for extra points, and then once you destroy enough of their stuff, you'll win. Otherwise, sometimes they put airfields in that you can capture, and then if you have the majority of the airfields, the other team will slowly lose their points over time, and then you win when they run out of points. So I think usually I like the airfield one because it's just a lot easier to do when you're taking them over. Sometimes they have ones where you have to destroy their base, so you have to get like bombers or something and blow it up, and then you get a big point loss from them, which is okay, but I don't know, sometimes it's kind of annoying when because the bombers are quite slow and it takes you a long time to get over there, and then usually there's some dude just patrolling around it who'll shoot you like just before you drop all your bombs, which is really annoying. But otherwise you can play in the tank battles. So tank battles is pretty just simple. You either got for the arcade one, you've got just shooting other tanks until they run out of like units and die. Or otherwise there's flag captures where you have to capture certain zones just by sitting in them. The tank battles I quite like because you can also fly planes in them if you kill enough people or you get enough experience points in the game from fighting, which I quite like. And you got your machine gun as well as your standard tank, and you have a crew, so I think you can actually go into first person mode and control your crew from whatever position you want, whether you want to be driving it or playing as the commander in your tank. The tanks aren't that different between them. They've got like different weapons and stuff that you can unlock for them, and fire extinguishers, and you can call in artillery in that, but most of the tanks are pretty similar. I don't think there's any like one tank that just ultimately destroys all the others when you're playing a game. They're mostly all pretty similar. For the realistic tank battles, it's a little bit different because I know that sometimes you play it, and if you don't kill someone, then you can't respawn. But if you kill someone, you can sometimes get enough points to respawn because they have like random cost things on them. And then you can also play as an airplane in the realistic tank battles. Personally, I don't really like playing as the airplane in the realistic tank battle because it's one of those things that's kind of hard to level up unless you're like really good at it, and it's only really got the machine gun on it. I think my airplane that I use in the realistic battles, it has the possibility for a bomb, but I never get to use it enough to actually unlock the bombs on it, unless I was to spend real money, which I don't really want to do. So this game isn't really pay to win. I mean, you could spend a whole lot of money and get all the best stuff, but I think they have like certain classes of battles, so if you were to buy the really expensive stuff, then you'd get matched with other people who have the really expensive stuff. And if they didn't buy that expensive stuff, then they'd probably just be able to beat you because they'd be more skilled than you. So it wouldn't really be that fun to just go and buy the best vehicles and stuff, because it would just mess up your like search rankings. You also have a profile level. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, since you don't unlock like a heap of stuff when you live up. I think it's just for countries, where you get like a new country if you reach a certain level. But it doesn't really matter, since I don't think I really play as other countries. There's just like 2 main ones that I like, which I've been upgrading lots and unlocking more units for, so I generally like to play as them because I quite like the units that I got for them. Probably if I was playing this game for a long time, I'd want to try out all the other ones and see what other vehicles and planes there are that are really cool. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with the countries I play at the moment. So there is team chat in here, but I don't think many people actually use it. It's mostly just do your own thing and hope you survive. I don't think anyone actually really works together that much, since it's not like a super easy game to work with your friends and stuff with. Like, I've played this with my friends before, and it's just annoying trying to stick together with each other because there's just too many bad guys and you want to go off and do your own thing. So I personally don't like that, but sometimes it's handy in the tank battles particularly. But in the airplane battles, it's just the maps are so big that it's just too annoying to try and stick with your friends, or always spawn and go straight for your friends, because by the time you reach them, they've probably died and respawned themselves. Yeah, I think there's also challenge modes in this game, which is for like specific types of vehicles or types of things that you have unlocked that you can use to fight in certain battles, which you get special bonuses and more research, which is cool if you've actually unlocked them. I think most of the times I go to look at it and I haven't unlocked a specific plane, or I've just missed the start of it, so I don't really play them a whole lot and usually just stick to the general arcade games. The graphics in this game are pretty good. I like the tank battle graphics more than the flying around graphics, because I mean, flying around you basically just got generic like ugly looking mountains and stuff with the odd little tree, and then there's like clouds, so it's not like a whole lot that it looks like. You can change your bullets on your planes and stuff to get different looks. I prefer the stealth bullets, which is where you can't actually see where you're shooting, but they do like lots of damage, which I quite like. Whereas in the tank battles, you got like lots of trees and bushes and shrubs and stuff, which makes it look really cool. So you can like drive through trees and stuff and watch them fall over, or you can shoot them, and you got explosions, which is really cool. You can also set off smoke and stuff on your planes, and you got random little things that you can do. You got bombers, drop bombs, where you can put missiles on it and fire rockets. I don't know about rockets though, because I mean they take like 8 minutes to reload, and usually the game would be over within that much time. I think like usually a match lasts like 5 to 15 minutes at most, depending on what kind of match and how good one of the teams is. Sometimes you get really even type games where it comes down to like the last second, and those games usually take a lot longer than the rest of them, but otherwise it's pretty much just quite a quick, simple game. Jump out, jump into a new game. It takes like a minute or so to find a game. Sometimes the game can be quite laggy, but it might just be because I'm on New Zealand internet, and that internet is not very good when it comes to online gaming, since most of the servers for this game are in America, so I think ping is usually like 180 for me, which isn't the best, but I still manage to do alright. But yeah, if I had to rate this game, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Because, I mean, it's fun, but it gets boring quite quickly. It's one of those games where you play for like 10 or 15 hours, and then you'd stop for a couple months because it's just pretty repetitive. There's not a whole lot of change. And, yeah, matchmaking's pretty average. I think You either get matched with people who are really beneath you or really above you. I don't think there's that many times that you get matched with really even people. And especially when you're lagging, if you're finding this game laggy when you're playing from your internet, and you play like an airplane battle where pretty much they just have to point like the random aiming indicator inside of your aim circle and then you're dead sort of thing. It's not as fun, but you play like a tank battle and there's more. It doesn't really matter if you're lagging because you can still predict where they'll be and aim properly, so it's a lot more fun, I think. But I think they could add more stuff to this game, perhaps make it easier to unlock stuff and research stuff. Because, I mean, at the beginning it's quite easy. You might play like 5 games and you've unlocked all the items for your tank. But then when you're like level 10 or 15 and you're trying to unlock your tier 5 vehicles, it takes like 20 or 30 games before you unlock something. So it just becomes quite boring when you want to progress in the game, but it's just taking too long. I mean, if you really like this sort of game, then I guess it would be alright for you, but for me personally, I'd probably give it just a 7 out of 10. This is not the worst game. I do enjoy playing it when I play it, but it's not one of those games that you want to play forever. So yeah, that's just my opinion of the game. If you do agree with it, or you do agree, or you don't agree with it, drop what you thought of the game in the comments below this video. Otherwise, I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10. Okay guys, see ya.